This video is to show you my new swing arm I've just fitted. It's a 2020 to 2021 model swing arm. It's longer than a 2015 swing arm, but what it has is, if you can see this, it has the same slot here, but it's longer at the back, and it has a bit of webbing in the middle here. You have to mill the webbing out. Once you've milled the webbing out, you get the full length of the slot. Then you can move the swinging arm right back, that I've done here. So the reason for this is to get extra wheelbase, extra length at the back of the bike, to stop the bike from wheeling on corner exit, especially because I'm tall. I suffer with a lot of wheelie out of the corners, and it seems to slow me down. So the electronics cut in too much, and I find that I've moved the swing arm back a little bit, and it made it a little bit better. So I've got this new swing arm, moved it back even further, extra links in the chain, and it seems to be working a treat at the moment. Seems to be a lot less electronic interference. So to fit the arm's quite easy. Milling out the back of the arm is not so easy, unless you've got access to a CNC milling machine like I have. These blocks I've made, I like the standard block, but they're an inch longer. So it takes up an inch of space here, so your bolt hasn't got to stick all the way out to here, which you probably wouldn't reach on this one. So the only problems I've found so far is, although they've made the slot longer in the 2020 arm, they've made the slot longer for this brake bracket, but they didn't make it long enough. So even though you mill that piece out, you can't move the brake bracket back enough. So what I've had to do is, on the lug of the brake bracket, I've had to mill a bit off and like grind a bit off, so I can get the full length of the arm, so I can adjust the chain up. So hopefully I'll be able to upload a photo. Other things to note about this conversion are the ABS sensor, when you use the long slot, goes behind this lug here, so I can't get the ABS sensor out. The only way you can do that is to undo this, slide your axle forwards, and it'll unbolt and come out the front there. So coming around the other side of the bike, I'll show you what I've done. Now, I've gone for 120 links, which is 6 longer than normal, and 44 teeth rear, 16 teeth front, which is standard. I'll explain why in a minute. And I've gone 520. I've gone 520, but I brought a DID ZVMX, which is one of the best. So hopefully it should be strong enough. They're AFAM sprockets. Seem okay at the moment. We'll see how that goes. Now, because of the longer wheelbase, the R1 chain guard here stops about here. So it looked a bit silly. Well, what I found out is this is an MT10 chain guard. The MT10 chain guard's sort of so longer, that much longer. So all the shit off of here is not going to smash the back of my bike or spray all over the back of my bike, if you know what I mean. And also, I have a heel guard here, which is part of the front chain guard, and it goes here because I've got big feet. I hit my feet on the swing arm all the time, and it leaves a rub mark. So these are off MT10. They're standard equipment on MT10. One little bolt at the front, a bit of double-sided here and here, and that's it. Protects the swing arm. So this bit I've got to film again, because the bit I filmed the other day didn't show. So if you're going to fit a smaller front sprocket, 15 teeth sprocket for example, be aware that the 2CR has got a really fat swinging arm. So what it does is cuts in here and underneath. Can you see it? There. even though the chain is fully adjusted, that can't reach the swinging arm. When you go over a big bump, it hits underneath there with a 15 tooth and drags on the top, cuts through this. This is a new one, I've had to replace this. It cuts through this into the arm if you run a 15 tooth front and standard size rear sprocket. So this is why I've gone back up to 16 tooth front and 44 tooth rear. Back to the normal video. The last thing to mention is, because the swing arm is sloped, if you move the axle back, it raises the rear of the bike. Not by much, but from there down to here is a few millimetre. So what I did is I took a measurement from the top down to the axle, and because this is the base model R1, it has an adjustable nut on the bottom. You may be able to see that. And that nut, you can wind it up inside, and that makes the shock shorter. And I've kept the exact same measurement from the top down to the axle position, so the height should be the same. So all I have is a longer wheelbase. Now, people say a longer wheelbase means it steers slower, which it can do, but I haven't really noticed, I must admit. What I've done is, if you can see, my forks are dropped through that much, which makes the front end turn in quicker. So it drops in quite quick. I hope you can hear me over the wind. It drops in quite quick, but it's really stable. Now it's longer wheelbase, it's really stable. And less anti-wheelie cutting in, less electronic interference. So hopefully, on my track day I should be a little bit quicker. We shall see. Goodbye.